Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are looking at the Marvel Legends Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 long coat and scarf version of Star-Lord from the second wave of Guardians Legends. And I have to tell you, this is one of the goofiest figures I have purchased in a very long time. They did a terrible job making him look like a badass in his long coat, like he did in the movie. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 6.5 inches, just a little over that, which makes him just about 16.5 centimeters. Now you'll remember the first version of this guy, the Volume 2 regular Star-Lord with the short jacket, was a pretty good figure with a questionable likeness. This one, though most of the parts are the same, loses some of that appeal because the likeness is a little bit more than questionable. This doesn't look like Chris Pratt no matter what you do unless you close your eyes and pretend it looks like Chris Pratt. It just looks awful. I'm not sure if it's the paintwork. It often is at least partly the paintwork, but it just looks bad. I like that the hair is a separate piece so that the paintwork is clean. There's no bleed issues or anything like that. They painted his sideburns in a weird way. It just looks kind of odd. Then they painted his goatee in a weird way. Those are both sculpted, by the way, the sideburns in the goatee. And then they gave him a 5 o'clock shadow. Just none of it comes together. It all looks weird. He's got this weird little pervy smirk on his face. His eyes don't look right. The hair looks nice on its own, to be honest. It looks too big on the head, kind of, but then I don't think it really is. I think it's just the face is just so weird. So weird. That's such a goofy look. Makes the whole figure look bad. And then the way they did the scarf, it looks to me a lot less like a badass like he did in the movie, and a lot more like a guy who's cold walking down the street with a scarf around his neck. So I don't know, maybe that's just me, but it definitely looks weird. Functionally though, I like the way they made the scarf a separate piece. It's nice and soft plastic, and there's really no problem there, except if you take the scarf off his neck, look at his neck. What's going on there? It's like a big flat chunk of plastic. I think that's supposed to be the that tendon or that muscle that goes from the sternum all the way past the clavicle and up to the back of the ear, but it's not. It's just a flat chunk of plastic. So I don't get what's up with that. It's very, very weird. He does have his accessories, though. Let's talk about that. He has his two guns again, which can connect to his hips, so that's cool. They're still nicely done. And then he has just a little solid chunk of black plastic, which I suppose is supposed to be his Walkman tape deck, but it's just got a hole in it with a big number 2 on it, and it doesn't really look like a cassette player, and it doesn't have headphones or anything, so I don't know. It's just a really lousy accessory. As far as the paintwork on this guy, other than the face being really goofy, they did a good job with his t-shirt. It looks nice. They did paint his belt buckle, which is okay, except my belt buckle, or the belt itself, has a big gouge taken out of it, so that's disappointing. His pants do have a few different tones on them, and his boots are a separate color, separate plastic. He has some nice paintwork throughout the jacket, so that's pretty cool. And then we also have the painted gloves, which look really, really nice. So there's plenty of good things about this figure, but that goofy head is just ruining it. Does it come off? Yes, it does. Yeah, the figure looks better already, and I'm not even joking. It looks so much better without that goofy head. That's such a shame. The jacket's made really well. It's a nice soft plastic, so it'll move around just fine. Let's talk articulation. The neck is on your standard hinge, so that'll work, and then the head can swivel around there. The shoulders, they're going to be pretty much the same as before. Not quite all the way out to the side, but they do work, and you can rotate it all the way around. You get your bicep swivel in there. Double jointed elbow works nicely, though they did take a note from Play Arts Kai and have this kind of pocketed elbow, which it's not terrible, but it does create big gaps, and it's not necessary. You don't need that, so it only really looks good when it's totally closed. And it could look good without that, so I'm not sure why they did it, but it's not a big deal. For the wrists, we have a swivel and a hinge. That's pretty standard. He holds the guns just fine, by the way. For the ab crunch, you can go back pretty far, though the jacket makes it not quite as far. And you can see that it's kind of pulling it back into place, but it still goes back. And then it goes pretty much all the way forward, so that's good. You can rotate his waist around just fine, so no problems there. For the hips, they go out pretty far, 45 degrees-ish, but the little tabs for the guns make them stop right there. They do go pretty far forward, surprisingly far forward, so that's nice range. We have our thigh swivels, so that's good. Double jointed knees work nicely. Not perfect, but definitely nice enough. We should have a boot swivel. Yes, we have a boot swivel right here, which separates obviously the pants and the boot. So that's really nice. It's the best way to have a shin swivel is at the boot. And then for the ankle, we can bring the foot not very far forward at all, and it goes pretty far back. It looks like it should go farther, but it just, yeah, that's about it. So that's kind of disappointing. But we do get a pretty decent ankle rocker out of it, so that's okay. And then you can make it perfect by using that boot swivel. So yeah, it's a solid figure. Other than that goofy head, that head is just, man, am I the only one that's seeing it? I was pretty lenient on the last one because at certain angles it kind of looked like him, but this one, no way, no way. This almost looks like the sound guy from The Office with blonde hair. Do you guys remember that? Because that's what this looks like. It just does not look like Chris Pratt at all. So I guess I recommend it if you like the body enough, but I don't know. It's just pretty weird. If you don't really want the long jacket and the scarf, which again, it just looks weird. I don't know, man. This is a conundrum because it's objectively okay in many ways, but then it's objectively very bad in some ways too. So I'm going to leave that one up to you guys. I've shown you everything. You can make that call for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have new videos up every single day. We talk about action figures, movies, TV shows, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. So make sure you come back for that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.